Welcome to the show. It is me, your girl, Labora Lee. And we got a lot of things to get into. But first, before we get into any of that, what you need to know is this. Today is Media Monday. Today is the day that we cover a lot of stuff that's going on in the media. Um, you know, Rumors, some factual. We covering it all at this point. So, without further ado, I do have to take this quick break and then we'll get into it. But check this out really, really quick. I'll be right back.
Want last-minute brand design help? Get top-tier Fiverr freelance creatives at your fingertips, fast, with secure payments and 24/7 support. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
I'm back, y'all. I had to get some things situated. There's a lot going on in the media today. But again, welcome to the show. I appreciate those who tune in this evening. Today's episode is it's a doozy, buddy. It's a doozy. But I'll say we are going to be talking about Dave Chappelle, Nipsey Hussle, um, Au- Austin St. John, Quavo and Takeoff, and a few other things. There's a lot going on right now, and I cannot wait to get into it. But before I get into all of that, let me say a few things. Remember, everything on this podcast is alleged. We don't know. We weren't there. Let me put that up on the screen really quick. Everything on this podcast is alleged. We don't know. We weren't there. Also, if by chance, which I probably won't because it's Media Monday, if by chance I decide to play some music, remember that I have full permission to do so. And that's that. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. It takes you like a quick second to do so. Um, it is what it is. And um, remember that we are on all streaming sites. I mean, all streaming sites. Yeah, just about every one that you can think of. Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and much, much more. If you want to come on the show, well, guess what? It's not as hard as you think. Speaking of that, we got an interview coming up this weekend, and I'm just here for it, Hunty. I'm here for it. But if you want to be on the show, check out hit us up at ambitiouslythepodcast@gmail.com. Again, hit us up at ambitiouslythepodcast@gmail.com. Now, I have so much to tell you guys. First of all, this weekend was lit. It was Preakness here in Baltimore. I have so much footage that I have to put it together though. I can't just give it to y'all any kind of way. So I am working on that. I will be working on that all day tomorrow so that I can give y'all play by play of what happened. The things that I witnessed. I do have a few exclusives to go along with the tea, but you know, I just can't give it to y'all anyway. Also, May the 28th, we do have a interview with Tony Hasbin. He's coming on. We're gonna talk about a few things and get to know him as an artist, and I cannot wait. So you will be seeing a promotional situation for that a little later as well. Now that we covered all of that, we gotta get into what is going on. This Dave Chappelle sauce. All right, so the man accused of tackling. What is going on here? My phone doing what I want to do. I don't know what's happening. No, wait a minute. I don't even know how that's happening right now. I'm gonna get rid of that real quick. I don't know how that happened, but whatever. All right, so the young man accused of tackling Dave Chappelle, and it seems like he's copping to it, says that he did what he did because he was triggered by Dave Chappelle's LGBTQ jokes and amongst other things. He's 23 years old. His name is Isaiah Lee. I hate that we have the same last name, but his name is Isaiah Lee. He did an interview with the New York Post, and he explained his reasoning for hopping on the stage and attacking the comedian. He said he was in fact offended by Dave's material, and he wanted him to know it. Oh my gosh. He also claims that that jokes that Dave apparently made about homelessness, which Lee says they personally hurt him, um, as he himself had experienced that at a young age. Um, he also said, "Oh my gosh," he said so much, y'all. So we gotta tap into it. Give me 1 second, though, because I need to make sure. But he also, Lee says, "I'm also a single dad, and my son is 5. I struggle. I mean, it's a struggle, and I wanted Dave Chappelle to know it's not a joke. Plus jokes earlier in that night made by the opener, it seems, taking pedophilia rocked Lee as well. He says he was sexually abused as a minor." Oh my lord, yo, this dude seemed like he just went through everything. Hold on, we're gonna get to the rest of his tea. Whoa, I mean, that was major. All of this happened to him. All right, so um whew, on his gruesome injuries, Lee said they spat on him and twisted him as if on purpose. He also acknowledged having a fake gun turned knife on him that night, adding, Chappelle asked why he did it. Lee says, "I told him my mother and my grandmother, who fought for his civil rights to be able to speak, would be upset at the things that he said." Oh my lord. Um, to that, Chappelle allegedly replied, "Now your story will die with you, son." Lee was recently hit with more serious charges, related charges that could see him behind bars for years. This being allegedly um, shanking his roommate, which he faces attempted, N-word charges. Lord have mercy. Oh my gosh, this young man, I don't like. I guess I'm confused about like the situation. I don't know that you doing what you did is gonna solve anything at all. Like, I don't think that you're gonna stop Dave Chappelle from telling the jokes that he wants to tell. I don't think he's already said like he don't care if y'all cancel him. So it's like nothing at this point. And please know that if he's doing an event, if he's booked and he's doing a show, there is some security around. He's Dave Chappelle. He's been in the comedy game for a long, long time and became a superstar behind it. So, like, how did you think that was gonna end well, bro? I just don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, like I am, and I just don't know how you thought that that was gonna be a good idea. I honestly don't know. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. I don't see it. Like, how did you think that was gonna be a good idea? Um, So let's keep it moving because I don't want to spend too much time on that young man. Hopefully he'll get it together and he'll figure some things out. But yeah, that wasn't a good look, sir, for you to be doing that. So let's get to this Nipsey Hussle sauce. So Nipsey Hussle's family is making sure um the cannabis empire he started to build still comes into fruition, despite his traumatic, untimely passing. On Friday, the estate dropped a new documentary titled The Marathon Cultivation," which chronicles the grind Nip and his brother Samuel Agiston Dom. I don't know how to say that last name, so please forgive me, but like endured in creating their favorite marathon OG marijuana strain. hmm this documentary also serves as an official announcement um, of an upcoming opening for their dispensary, the Marathon Collective, which opens on June 18th in Los Angeles. During the screening details were brought up on some upcoming plans, including getting Nip a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this summer. Um, the 40-minute film features a well-placed cameo from Snoop Dogg, who sang the product's praises when Nipsey had hand delivered him a special package. Nip was taken from the world on March 31st in 2019, and his alleged attacker, um, his trial is set for June the 2nd. Now, I know a lot of people had questions about, like, when exactly he was going to go to trial. I know I did myself, because it was like, oh, when? This is like, a lot of people have gone to trial way before he did, and like Nipsey died in 2019. Well, he passed in 2019. It's 2022, and other people have been to court before he. So I don't know. Maybe prosecution is just trying to make sure they get all the evidence that they can. I don't know, but it's taking them a nice little piece of time to just bring this case together. So I don't know. Um, I just don't know. But we're going to keep it moving. Let's talk about Austin St. John, the actor who played the Red Power Ranger in the 1990s TV series, Power Rangers. He had his house raided by the feds. Oh my gosh. And he is now under arrest for massive federal um, federal criminal for a massive federal criminal case. Oh my gosh. Not the Red Ranger. Approximately 15 FBI agents in tactical gear rolled up on St. John's home on Thursday at 7 a.m. in Tahoe Suburbans in an upscale neighborhood in McKinney, Texas. Um, Brandishing what looked like AR-15s as they approached his porch. Oh my gosh, yo, this is crazy. So they showed up in the Tahoes at his Texas estate. They had the pieces, the big joints on them. They entered the home, and when they came out, they had a plus one, St. John in handcuffs. Sheesh. Turns out there was a massive federal indictment involving 18 people who have now been charged with fraud. The indictment alleges that St. John was a part of a scheme to defraud the Small Business Administration Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP, the PPP people. That's the program designed to help small businesses affected by COVID. St. John allegedly got 16 loans. Geez, 16 loans, y'all. Totaling $3.5 million, which he used for personal purchases and not for the intended purpose. Even if it was used for the intended purpose, the feds claim it was obtained fraudulently. St. John played Jason Lee Scott in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yes, he was the Red Ranger. I remember Jason, which launched his career in 1993. He left the show in the second season, but came back from time to time. There are other Power Rangers who got in a legal mess, such as Ricardo Medina Jr., who starred in the Power Rangers Wild Force, was convicted of manslaughter in 2017 and sentenced to 6 years for shanking his roommate with a sword. As for St. John, if convicted, he faces up to 20 years in prison. Y'all, the PPP loan situation didn't just affect people of color. Like, I know a lot of people of color um, were affected by that situation, but I think a lot of people were affected. I will say this: COVID did a number. It did a doozy on everybody. Like, nothing is the same way that it used to be. People aren't getting money the way they used to get money. People aren't getting jobs the way they expected to get jobs after they came back. Some people just don't want to go back to a mediocre bullshit job. And so I think with this whole PPP loan thing, it had a few people jaded. It got a few people messed up in the mind, like I can have all of this money and I don't have to pay it back. But they didn't realize that the the terms of which you took that loan um is great and costly, because if you weren't using it for the intended purpose, they coming for you. And especially if you had they said this man had, let me make sure I got this correct, of how many loans. He had 16 loans. 16. So you didn't just stop with the one loan, which is like, okay, I got this first one, it's good. Yo, racked up a total of $3.5 million worth of um fraud. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's insane. But I guess it just didn't just affect us as a people. It affected everybody. Everybody was going through tough times. So it is what it is. But no, not the Red Ranger. You know, I hated the Power Rangers. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I hated the Power Rangers. And I hated the Power Rangers because, one, by the time it came out, I was a teenager. I wasn't trying to hear that. I was trying to watch the jukebox, or what other people know as the box. Um, I was trying to watch BET. I was trying to watch MTV, and I have a younger sister. Now she's a grown woman. Okay, somebody up here is doing my, hope I don't hear that. But now she's a grown woman. But at the time she was a baby, because I'm 13 years her senior. And so we would like fight over the television, and I always was told, like, let her get the TV. She's the youngest, and like, I hated that. So I really hated the Power Rangers. But I knew the characters. I know everybody's name. I remember Jason, Treaty. Man, there was a couple of them. I remember a few of them, but yeah, like, I hated the Power Rangers though. I hated that show so much. All right, so let's move on to our next subject of the evening. I hated the Power Rangers. I did. I hated the Power Rangers. I hated Barney. I love that Lion King. That was one thing she always got me to be. Like, she could always get me to watch with her. And then she had this one thing that she used to like to watch. It was called Balto. I hated that too. Uh, but it was what it is. I don't know if I hate it now, but I know I hated it back in them times, because it was stopping me from watching my music videos. So I hated it. I've always been, a lover of music. So if it stopped me from doing that, it was a freaking problem. So yeah, I hated the Power Rangers. But with that being said, I don't wish any bad anything on anybody. Like, it's just, I guess the PPP loan got them too. Got him. It got everybody. It got some of everybody. So it got him too. Anyway, let's move on to this Quavo and Offset situation. Now we have a little bit more details, based, like, a lot more details than what we had on Friday. I just gave you a little snippet of what we had going on, but we didn't really have too much information. But we got a little bit more today, so I'm gonna give it to y'all. First, let me just say this is like a soap opera, in my opinion. But let me read first, and then I'll reiterate and give all of my and my input on it at the end of this. But Quavo and Offset are on the outs again. And this time it means Migos is done as a group. At least that's what the online buzz is saying. Quavo isn't doing anything to put which we talked about. He's not doing anything to put that to rest. Honcho was at the LAX airport Thursday when a photographer or paparazzi asked him about the reports that the trio was breaking up, and his response is interesting. All the talk about Migos' demise stems from two things: Quavo's new offset list, so a project with no offset on it, and a bunch of social media unfollows. social media. Hold on, we got a comment before. Oh wait, Reese said the original Power Rangers used to be her soap opera. Ah, I couldn't stand it. My sister made me watch it every day, so I just hated the Power Rangers. But let's get back to this Quavo and Offset drama. So this is a soap opera. This really is a soap opera. He was happy to talk about one of those things, namely his and Takeoff's new track, Hotel Lobby. The new duo taking the name Unc and Feud. I'm gonna get ready to tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why that bothers me in a second. Due to their family ties, but Quavo definitely dodged the topic of Offset. Offset and Cardi stopped following Quavo and Takeoff on Instagram, and Quavo stopped and unfollowed Offset and Cardi. Takeoff's like Switzerland, he's still following everybody. So, you know, I ain't mad at Takeoff for that though. Is this a real beef? Maybe. Quavo isn't saying, which makes us lean towards this being a skillful marketing scheme for Unc and Neff. All right, so the Unc and Neff situation. Let me just deal with that one first. I think I want to deal with that first. Okay, so I happen to know a producer and rapper who are currently pushing a project called Unc. Although it's not spelled the same way, it's the same thing. Now I get that whole Quavo and Takeoff are relatives. One is the uncle, one is the nephew. I get it. I don't think that that's going to take off well, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, I just don't. I mean, I guess they have to name it something other than the Migos because if you name it the Migos, then you have to give a share of that to Offset. You feel me? Like he's a part of that group, so you have to split it three ways instead of two. If you use that name. So it would probably be better if you used another name like Uncle Nephew. Don't like the name for them though. I think it's too much. Um, I think they could have been more creative with putting that together. I'm just don't shoot the messenger, but I think they could have been a little bit more creative. Um, It's always something going on, but the fact that Cardi, hold on, let me see what we got, what we talk about here on the comments real quick. So it's the group name for me. They could have came out with something better, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Unc and Naf, it doesn't do it for me, yo. Like it just doesn't, and it doesn't sit well with me. They could have sat down and be like, you know what? Let's think of something. But they just settled on Uncle Neff. Like, come on, y'all. Like, y'all could have been way more creative than that. But again, they can't use the Migos because if they use the Migos, then they have to pay Offset as well. Now they gotta split the money three ways instead of two. Um, is Offset gonna hurt from this? Probably not. Him and Cardi been doing a lot, even though I'm not gonna say on the one. Cardi been doing her thing on the music tip, but they've been making a lot of appearances and being where they're supposed to be. Speaking of I said take off. Speaking of Offset, him and Kanye made a little pop up. You know, they showed their faces at the Adidas and Balenciaga situation. So yeah, because it was a whole like fashion unleashing unveiling of the partnership between Adidas and Balenciaga. I still personally am not big on. I want to talk about that too, but yeah, I'm not big on that. But anyway, Offset has been making appearances, and him and Cardi been doing some things, and their money is tied into other things. So is it gonna hurt Offset to not be a part of the Migos anymore? I don't think so. But I honestly think that Takeoff and Quavo could have came up with a better name than Uncle Neff. That's just my personal thing. Like that, they could have did something. Oh no, they could have just did something way better than that. So let me play this commercial really quick, and then come right back because we got some quick topics to go through. Well, we got some quick topics, and I did have this one story I wanted to throw in there real quick because this one hit home a little bit. Hold on, let me get to where I need to be. Okay, here we go. So check this out really quick. I'll be right back.
What does getting it all done actually look like? A lot like this. Meet your new workspace. Oh, I'm not sharing the right screen, am I? Let's try this again. Meet your new workspace. Your whole team, right here. Let me just, sorry, Karen. All those projects on hold, just a click away from complete. Success is closer than you think. It's actually over there, right next to your Success Manager. It's built to expand as needed. The perfect freelancer for every project? Yes, please. Go ahead. You can use the F word as much as you want here. This is your selection of global freelance talent that never sleeps. All vetted for their excellence and their expertise. Love you, Kevin. Only thing left? Add your favorites to your list and share with your team. Okay, not all of them. Leave it to them to tackle all your business needs, leaving you free. Well, at least free to get more done. That's how fast they work.
Ready to transform your business?
Oh, that looks good. Love that. Approved. Oh, still sharing my screen.
All right, I'm back. Now this next story, there's one more story I want to cover, and then I get to the quick topics. But I want to cover this story because it kind of hit home. Because I'm again, we just talked about the Power Rangers and how much I hated them, but I wanted to watch the Music Jukebox for a reason. I wanted to watch BET for a reason. I wanted to watch MTV for a reason because I've been well invested in music my whole freaking life. But this particular case, it started in this story. It started in 1996, right? A gentleman who worked at the studio for the Wu-Tang Clan was wrongly convicted of I can't even get past. He was wrongly convicted of murder. I couldn't even like downplay that one. But the New York City is to pay him $7 million for his wrongful conviction. So let me read a little bit. New York has agreed to pay $7 million to a man who spent 23 years behind bars for a murder he did not commit. Comptroller Brad Lander said on Monday. Grant Williams was exonerated last July in the 1996, shootout of Chappelle Lewis outside of a Staten Island public housing complex. Now, Williams, 51, has been paroled since 2019. Oh, what? I don't know what's going on. Okay, but he was paroled in 2019. And after being cleared last year, he filed a notice of claim, a first step towards suing the city. The comptroller's office has the authority to settle such claims without court action, and occasionally does so, including in 2014 the police chokehold of Eric Garner. Man, that was messed up. So anyway, Williams' attorney Irvin Cohen said the city did the right thing by settling quickly. This will assist him in moving forward and trying to get back on his feet and finally putting the ordeal behind him, Cohen said. Now, let me say this. There are so many gentlemen who get wrongly convicted of crimes that they did not commit. Just like look at the Central Park Five. That happened to them. And yeah, they got a settlement. Hey boo. My aunt up in the building. Hi, Auntie. But yeah, the Central Park Five, they were an example of that as well. And they didn't get nearly as much. Matter of fact, I think they got what he got, but they had to split it amongst each other or something like that. But from my understanding, New York City got a bad track record of doing that, convicting people. But it's I'm not gonna say it's the city. What I'll say it is the higher ups. They always and especially around election time, It's like we got to hurry up and do something. We got to convict somebody because the elections are coming up and people are going to want to know why we haven't solved this case or why we didn't do this or why we didn't do that. And then they lock the people up, they throw away the key, and they don't care about them until, they finally find a way to be exonerated. It's a shame it has to even be happening. Right. It is. Like it's crazy, but they'll do that though because they want to get elected in some, political position or reelected. It's so many reasons why they do crap like that. But that man sat in prison until 2019 and he did not commit the crime. So I think that he deserves that $7 million. He deserves more, but that's what he got. So it is what it is. But let's get to these quick topics really quick. So as we all know, Rihanna and ASAP Rocky are officially parents. I'm glad that the baby came before any craziness happened. They welcomed baby boy into the world. From what I understand, from what I heard, what I heard on the streets, um, ASAP Rocky cannot take his eyes off of that baby. Hold on, let me see what we got here. Um, Auntie said, unbelievable. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's crazy. Reese said, it's the public defenders. They push pleas to save the city money without taking the time to fight the case. But on the other hand, they also are understaffed. Yes, that is true. But it also is the fucking, I'm sorry. It's the DA. They got to get elected. Like they don't just, you see what I'm saying? Like they don't just get the job. People elect them. Those people, like even when they giving Marilyn Mosby, and for those listening, Marilyn Mosby is from my city. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get ready to give y'all some science real quick. I'm sorry that I have to do this, but I'm going to have to say this really, really quick. Even in her case, and I'm not saying what she did was wrong because it's like it was her own money, but look at what's going on with her right now. She has to be reelected. She got I can never say his Vic Naraha. I don't know how to say his name, but she got him on her heels now. He was running for mayor. Now he's running for her position, her seat. They have to be reelected. And so with that being said, again, I'm going to reiterate when it's election year, especially, and we don't know what was happening in 96. I was definitely about 16, 17 around that time. So I don't know who was up for election, if it was an election year. I don't know. But what I do know is in order for them, like they have to do certain things as certain, judges, and they got to rub certain elbows and they got to do certain things in order to be reelected. You feel me? Certain people have control over certain districts. So they kind of swayed the way the people vote in those areas. It's a lot. It's a lot in politics. And let me tell y'all, I am very passionate about politics. I am. But that's why I never wanted to go. I wanted to public relations versus public services because I know me and I'm very boisterous and verbal. And I know how that works. And I'll pay attention to these things, whether people believe it or not. I pay attention to these things. I pay attention to the elections, how these things work themselves out, who these people talk to and who these people deal with. Why do they do the things that they do? I pay attention to a lot of this stuff. And I know elections play a big, big part of it. But if you did right, you wouldn't even have to pay out that money because he wouldn't have never went to prison. And that's all I'm gonna say to that. But let me get back to the yeah, Auntie, I'm trying to tell you. But let me get back to the better news, the happy news. I wanted to talk about that though, because it was on my mind. It was, and I remember hearing about this case and I wanted to talk about it because he got his money. But anyway, back to Rihanna and ASAP. From my understanding, from what I've heard, ASAP will not leave that baby's side. He is just smitten with his baby boy, and I'm not mad at it. ASAP, I told you had one job, and don't fuck it up, and you're doing good, sir. Now, yeah, this whole court thing, I mean, getting arrested and all of that, I'm not too happy about that. But you did the one thing that I asked you to do, which is you got Rihanna. Don't fuck this up. and you're doing a good job. I'm proud of you. You knocked out. Now y'all got this beautiful baby. I can't wait to see what the baby look like. If we ever see what the baby looks like, it is a $1 billion baby. Well, no, eventually we saw what we automatically saw what Blue Ivy looked like, but eventually we saw what Sir and Remy look like. So maybe we'll eventually see what ASAP and Rihanna's son looks like as well. Who knows? But congratulations again. I'm very happy to hear that news. It makes me happy. BMF star Lil Meech. He is bigger than just a star, but we'll get to that in a minute. But BMF star Little Meech allegedly stole a $2,500,000 Mill watch and got caught, leading to his arrest for grand theft. I did hear that the bail was like 1.4 or $5 million for him to get out. When I was asked about how I felt about that, my response, well, my sister asked me, but my response was like, oh, well, he's following his father's footsteps. That's why I don't want to call him just the BMF star, because he is not only the star, but the heir. Um, he's the junior. That's why his name is Lil Meech. Looking just like his daddy, but he is his father's son, so maybe he's keeping the legacy alive. I don't know. Rick Ross is hosting a huge car and bike show. That seems like the right person to do the job. You know what I mean? Like Rick Ross out here doing his thing. He got the chicken. He got all of that. He all right. So I think that should be dope. I don't know if it's gonna be televised, but if we get some more information on it, I will definitely bring that information to you. Apple sued after fam claims AirPods burst son's eardrum during Amber Alert. Jeez, yeah, them Amber Alert warnings be loud. I ain't gonna lie, I don't even be having no earbuds in my ear, and it could just be sitting. My phone could just be sitting on the table, and that bad boy go off like, I be like, oh snap, hurry up and get to it. But there's nothing you could do about it. So I don't know if Apple is the person. I mean, the people that you sue though, because I don't care what kind of phone you got. An Amber Alert is an Amber Alert, and it's gonna go through. Period. So I don't know how that's gonna work itself out, but we gonna see. Woman in Louisiana averts legislative attempt to declare abortion a homicide. The proposed legislation to have rendered serious charges against any woman who terminated their pregnancy, and that's in Louisiana. What y'all need to know is this Roe v. Versus Wade situation is getting thick. It's getting heavy. I know it's already a Netflix documentary on it already. I don't believe that nobody has the right to tell me what I can and cannot do with my body. Nobody tells men what they can do with their bodies, and so I don't feel like it's fair for anybody to be able to tell us what we can do with our bodies. Now, trust me, if I got pregnant today or tomorrow, I'm having that baby. But I think I said this before. I just don't. Is who are you to tell me? And especially if it's in circumstances where a woman has been assaulted, you feel me? And then you just go and you say, oh, okay, well, you can't do that. You just got to keep the baby. That's a memory. I got to look at this child every day. I mean, I could give it up for adoption, but I don't think y'all realize how hard it is to carry a child for 9 months. You get attached to that child. I carried my daughter full term, 9 months. She was due on the 10th. I had her on the 9th, a day before her due date. And I will say I carried her the whole 9 months, and I got very attached in carrying her. So you want me to carry a kid? I don't know that I can do that. I don't know that I have the strength to do that. And now you set women up to do crazy things like go seek illegal abortions, which can harm their lives. And the child is already going to be gone. Like it's a lot. Now you saying she a murderer because she did that? No, you took away her right as a woman to decide what it is that she wanted to do, and that's why that's a problem. But that's just how I feel about that. I gotta show some love, yeah. I do. Everybody got something to say about what it is that somebody else should do, especially these politicians. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't feel like you have no right to me. I'm not a slave anymore. Well, I was never a slave. I probably would have got killed because I'm too militant for that life. But you don't get to decide what I do with my body. And again, if I got pregnant today or tomorrow, I'm keeping it. But well, one is I got a dope um husband. So, I would keep it. But I just don't believe it. And ladies, let me say this. Breastfeed your kids. This formula shortage should not be driving y'all crazy like this. Pull that mother sucker out and pop it in that baby mouth. Like y'all doing too much. It's a shortage on formula. Yeah, that shit was probably not no good for them babies anyway. You know what's best for the babies? Breast milk. Do that. Pop it out. Put it in the baby mouth. So let me get to showing my love. We are in 22 countries because I got some more to talk about and I want to run through this. But we are in 22 countries. And that's a blessing in itself. 22 countries. That means people from out of 22 countries have come through and listened to this podcast. Maybe found something they liked about it, maybe found something they hated about it, but they listened. And that is amazing to me. But let me get to my love. Let me show my love real quick. Let me show. So shout out to the United States. Big love to my country because they showed me love. Yes, I love you guys. France, big love to you. I love you guys so much. United Kingdom, big love to you. I love you guys so much. You guys are amazing, extraordinary. Germany, India, Brazil, big love to you. Man, I appreciate you guys. The Netherlands, Singapore, South Africa, Spain, Philippines, Belgium, Australia, Japan, Mexico, Ireland, Nepal, Mauritius, Israel, Canada, and Hong Kong. I love you guys. And last but not least, Russia. I love you so much. You guys are awesome. You are. You're super freaking amazing. You know what? Yeah, man. It's love. It's love. I love you guys. Now I ain't gonna go through the whole list because it's a lot of people in this world that listen to this podcast. I am gonna break it down. When we get to 5,000 downloads, I'm gonna go through each and every single city. I'm gonna take the time. I'm gonna do it. I promise you. We're gonna have a party and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just go through and be like, you know what? Everybody get love. But today, I can't do that. I don't got that kind of time on my hands. So I'm gonna just show the top cities where the top downloads come from. I'm gonna show them love. And if you want, you gotta move up your ranks. You gotta come and download the podcast and get to know your girl a little bit better. But anyway. Columbus, Ohio, thank you. I love you. San Jose, California, been my day ones, and I love you guys very much. Baltimore, Maryland, I love you. That's my city. Yeah, I love you. France, I will never butcher the name of this city, but I love you, France. You guys are amazing. Spring Valley, Nevada, Frankfurt. Hi, Germany. Yeah, Frankfurt, Washington, Virginia, Ashburn, Virginia, North Las Vegas, Nevada, Norton Shores, Michigan. Shout out to the Chi, Boardman, Oregon, Atlanta, Georgia, Las Vegas, Nevada, Owens Mills, Maryland, Pikesville, Maryland, Boulder City, Nevada. No, India. I will not crush the name of the city either, but Philadelphia. Hi, Philly. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Randallstown, Maryland. And last but not least, because there's a lot more on this list, but I got to stop it here. Singapore. I appreciate each and every person that comes through and downloads this podcast. And I promise you, we're going to get through the whole list eventually. I just can't do it tonight. It's too many for me to actually name. Now, let me tell y'all what happened. I got time, cuz. All right, so Saturday I went to this beautiful event in an area here in Baltimore. The area is called Park Heights. For most people, like I said, if you don't know with the Preakness is like I think it's like three big races in this country that go down every year. You got the Kentucky Derby, then you got the Preakness, which is here in Baltimore, Maryland. Um, and I was honored to be able to cover the first annual music and music arts and cultural event for that particular joint, which if you my friend on any social media, you've already seen that. Yes, I was definitely in the building. Well, it wasn't in the building, it was outside, but I was out there. um the sun was scorching. Yeah, I got a lot to talk about. Like I said, I got some some insights, some exclusives, because the bitch was ear hustling like a motherfucker. But yeah, I was there. I got some inside tea. It was fun. The vendors, well, I got some great interviews that I got. Like I said, I had to do some editing, but I couldn't. I refuse to rush anything that I got going on, because I want you guys to see it the way I saw it. But I did a few brief impromptu interviews with some of the vendors. The food was good. The snowballs, Baltimore tradition. The snowballs was off the hook. We ate good. And the entertainment was there for me. It was good. It was a vibe. So I got a lot of things to talk about. I'm gonna fill you guys in as soon as I edit the footage down. I probably, hopefully, I have it done by Wednesday. But again, I'm not gonna rush it because I got a lot of footage on my phone and on my camera, so it's just like crazy. But yeah, so that happened. Can't give you all the tea, but I will give it to you when I do the show that's specifically for that. Um, it was great. It was fun. Got to see some beautiful horses, and they were like, it was a vibe, yo. It was a vibe, and I loved it. Network with a few people. Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was good. And I think I want to reach out to a few of these people as well. It was a lot of, I met with a lot of authors. It was great. So I will be piecing it together. I will be putting it together and sharing the actual event with you. I can't give it all to you right now. I don't want to put it together any kind of way. Um, so that's that. What else happened? Oh, well, what else is happening? The last thing that we're doing for the month, we're interviewing a gentleman by the name of Tony Hasdon. He is an Hispanic artist. Like I said, I wanted to bring y'all something different. I can't say it's different because it's still kind of rap a little bit. We'll get into that this Saturday, but we're doing that this Saturday. I'm surprised I even made it on the show today, because when I say it was hot outside Saturday, and I was outside from 10 to, I want to say, 4, 5ish, the sun drained me. Let me just tell y'all, Saturday night I came in the house, I was dead. Like I didn't want to do nothing much. I knew my daughter was in the bed and she was asleep. It was like, all right, mama's right behind you, baby girl, because it was like, yes. So we got a few things going on. I will be before I leave this joint, I will be playing the promo for Tony. For those listening, you're not gonna see the promo, but just know that the 28th, that's the day that we're doing it. But most of you guys come and listen anyway, so I don't have to run it in your brain. But let me say the things that I have to say. If you would like to be on this show, hit us up ambitiously the podcast at gmail.com. Again, ambitiously the podcast at gmail.com. You can also hit us there for advertisement, comments, suggestions, whatever. Ambitiously the podcast at gmail.com. Also, we are on all streaming sites. Yes, we are. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts. You can find us just type in Ambitiously the Podcast. I promise you can find us wherever you are. We even on joints that y'all don't even know about. Where our directory love is there. everything we state on this podcast, except for the things that I know is true. Like when I come to y'all with the tidbits that I'm going to come to y'all with, I'm going to know for a fact that they're true because I was there. But everything is alleged. We don't know. We weren't there. I wasn't there. I wasn't. So I don't know. Um, remember, if I play any music on this podcast, I have full permission to do so. I don't just go out here just grabbing music from anybody. Like, no, they've given me permission to play the music. We're gonna work on this call-in thing. I would like to hear voices. So we're gonna see where we're gonna go with it. I tried the call-in thing before and it didn't really work out for me, but I'll try it again. We'll see what we can do. Remember, join the conversation. Drop a comment. Like Aunt Sandy came through, Reese came through. Like, drop a comment. We are here for the conversation and talk about things. We don't always have to agree on everything, but we're gonna talk like adults about it. Like, we grown. Like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. It's just click, and you're done. That's it. Or just like it. You can just share it, or you can subscribe. It's up to you how you want to do what you do, but do that. You know what I mean? Look out for us. Look out for us. It's very helpful when you do that. It helps us keep building. Check out our website, www.ambitiouslyentertainment.com. Again, the website is www.ambitiouslyentertainment.com. We're working on a few things over there. Like, if it wasn't for Reese on Mondays, I would probably lose my mind because I'm a one woman machine. Like, I do a lot of stuff myself, and she come through on Mondays and she hold it down. She makes sure I'm together on Monday. She's a hell of a content producer, so show some love to Reese. But yeah, but after that, the girl is on her own, and I'm trying to get everything together, and I'm trying to piece everything together. I'm booking interviews. I'm getting together for events that I'm allowed to do, cover or book to cover. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot, but I love it. I wouldn't trade none of this for anything in the world at all. So one of these days, all of this hard work will pay off. So I ain't got no beef. I ain't got no beef with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing what I love. I'm getting in there. I'm getting down to the trenches. I'm putting my journalistic skills to use. I'm putting my press pass to use. Like, I've used that a lot lately. Like, bam, here go my press pass. It feels good to use that. So I'm putting it together. It's a hard journey, but again, I wouldn't trade it for anything else in this world. It's a ride. It's a hell of a ride. I'll take the sun beating down on me. I'll take all of that. I don't even care. Long as I get the job done. And that's the main important part. So this Wednesday, if I can, ain't no if. This Wednesday, I will be talking about the event. I got all day to put in the work tomorrow, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. And I gotta get ready for this interview on Saturday. I'm still up, and so Wired Wednesday is definitely happening. That's coming. But I'm still trying to make a decision if I'm gonna do Fire Friday, being as though I am doing an interview on Saturday, and I've been using my voice and body in ways that I've never used it before. So I might need a break, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I can't guarantee that just yet, whether or not I'm going to take a break or I'm going to be here Friday. So we'll see what happens on Friday. But for sure, Wired Wednesday, tune in. Lots of footage. I showed a little tidbits, but I didn't get to show you everything that I got. I got some good stuff. So tune in on Wednesday and we will discuss what went down. And I'll give you my little tea that I got. You know what I mean? Because I was hustling. Cause I was in hustling, boo. I was, man. I was like, what? Who said what? Who met what? What had happened? Yeah, I was all in it. I was all in the business, all in the sauce. But again, it was a fun event, and I'm glad I participated. I went, I did what I had to do. I got networked with a few people. My networking game been moving up in the ranks lately. I've been doing a little bit better on the networking situation. So it is what it is. I'm glad that these things are happening. Um, in my city and outside my city, wherever whatever I'm doing is happening. So I'm grateful. I'm definitely grateful. But I got a couple more minutes I could talk about some things. So yeah, like I said, make sure you tune in. Also in June we have a couple of interviews that are going to go down, but I will give you an update on that when we get closer. Well, no, I gotta actually get ready for June because I have an interview on the 4th, so I gotta put that together as well. We are doing an interview with a gentleman whose video we played on this show before. But so I'll keep you abreast of that as well. But we doing some things, y'all. We doing some things, and I ain't even mad about it. But I am about to get out of here because a girl got to rest her voice. I've been using myself up. But one thing I'll say is this. Um, Thank y'all for being dope, y'all. Thank y'all. All right, so let me get to my salutations. One is, let me cover the things we need to cover. First and foremost, the gentleman who attacked Dave Chappelle, I don't know that you helped your cause. And yeah, they did spit on you and they twisted your body in ways, because I seen the pictures. They twisted your body in ways I didn't even know the body could twist. But you did jump on stage and attack the man. And to be honest, that's what his bodyguards get paid for. They get paid to protect him. So I don't know about the spitting thing, but the beating your ass thing, yeah, they definitely got paid to do that. That's what they get paid to do. And I'm sorry that those things triggered you, but he's a comedian. So if you felt like he's been saying things for years now, so you should have known that, he was going to say them things at this particular show, and he does not stop what he's doing. He doesn't stop doing his job to cater to you. That's the problem with people now. They think that everybody is supposed to worry about what it is that they got going on. It's just about me. No, it's not just about you. You think he wake up every day and be like, oh, I don't want to offend someone. No, who cares? Nobody gives a fuck. Like, this is my job. This is what I do. You don't like it? Don't buy a ticket to the show. Don't come to the fucking show. It's just that simple. What else did we talk about? We talked about Nipsey. I wish I lived in Cali so I could test out what they got going over there in his with his whole cannabis empire. But I don't live out in Cali, so it is what it is. But I would totally test it out. What else we got? Justin St. John. Bruh. Red Ranger, you should have just not did the PPP loan thingy in a bunch. You had 10 loans. Why? Okay, whatever. I gotta talk to my sister about this because Power Rangers was a joint. And then what else did we have? We had we got Offset and Quavo beefing, Takeoff not really beefing, but beefing, and then Takeoff and Quavo doing the Uncle Neff project, which I don't like the name. I hope that's the name of the album and not the group name, because that's horrible. Go back to the drawing board. Rethink your decision. It's horrible. That name is not working for me at all. Again, congratulations, Rihanna and ASAP. ASAP, my nigga, you doing what I told you to do. You got one job and you stand on it, and I'm proud of you for it. And the other things that went into play, it was a lot that we talked about this evening, and it was the vibe, so it is what it is. But let me say this, because I gotta get out of here. Mind your fucking business. Let me mind the business. Let me tell you everybody else's business. Come here, I'll tell you, but you mind your business. So you mind your business. You mind your business so that you could be safe. I'm trying to keep you safe. And I'm going to be all right. So you just mind your fucking business and let me tell you the sauce. Let me give you the sauce, baby. Children, love them, hug them, kiss them, encourage them, tell them how great they are, encourage their little minds because they are awesome. If they want to work for NASA, encourage them to be the best astronaut or engineer or whatever it is that they're going to do at NASA. Encourage them. If they want to work for NASCAR, encourage them to be the the best driver or the best pit boss they can be. Like whatever you do, encourage them to be great. That's needed right now. This is part of why society is set up the way it's set up right now. It's because everybody for self and nobody think about the future and what that holds. So do that. Stay in your lane. Your lane is over there. My lane is over here. You know what happens when you cross lanes? It's collision. Nobody needs that. Stay in your lane. I stay in mine. We don't want no problems. I don't even like drama. Drama don't work for me. So that is what it is. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. I thank you for tuning into this podcast. If you did, I thank you in advance to the people who are going to download this podcast, because I know you will, because you guys are great. And with that being said, I got to get out of here, y'all. I got to crap load of work I gotta get done. But for those listening, Tony has been May the 28th. And to those watching, check this out and good night.